Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're taking a really fascinating, science-based look straight into the mechanics of our biology. There is a lot of noise out there about weight that focuses entirely on appearance, right? Well, we are going to strip all of that away today. Instead, we're diving into the exact physical, mechanical strain that excess weight places on your internal systems day in and day out.
Think about it like this. What if you wore a backpack filled with heavy rocks, not just for an afternoon hike, but every single second of your life? Imagine it's literally permanently attached to you. You sleep with it, walk with it, sit with it. This is basically our central metaphor today because it perfectly illustrates what severe excess body weight does to you over time. It's a constant, unyielding mechanical workload that forces your heart to work harder, makes your lungs struggle for air, and slowly wears out your joints. It's a physical load that silently impacts almost every single organ in your body.
Section 1. Heart, lungs, and breath. Let's look at the cardiovascular and respiratory impact.
So, your heart is an incredibly efficient pump, but carrying extra weight means you have extra body tissue, and all of that extra tissue demands oxygen and nutrients. To supply it, your heart simply has to pump more blood. Because the heart is forced to basically work overtime to push that extra volume around, your blood pressure goes up. And over time, that elevated pressure directly raises your risk for major events like heart attacks and strokes and can ultimately lead to heart failure. The entire plumbing of your body is just under constant elevated stress. And you know, this strain doesn't magically stop when you go to sleep. Extra fat distributed around the chest and the abdomen essentially restricts your lungs, making it physically harder to take a breath. For a lot of people, this leads to sleep apnea, which is a condition where your breathing actually repeatedly stops and starts throughout the night. Imagine the sheer panic your body goes through when its oxygen supply is repeatedly cut off. This not only completely wrecks your sleep quality and leaves you exhausted the next day, but it creates a vicious cycle that further compounds those heart disease risks we just talked about.
Moving on to part 2, joints, insulin, and diabetes.
When it comes to your joints, it is really just a matter of pure physics. Heavy body weight puts an enormous amount of pressure on your skeletal system. But the crazy thing is, it's not a one-to-one ratio. Every single extra kilogram of body weight adds several kilograms of exponential pressure onto your knee joints with every single step you take. Day after day, this multiplier effect damages your cartilage, which is that protective cushioning in your joints. Over time, that constant mechanical wear and tear causes chronic pain and leads to osteoarthritis.
But the impact isn't just structural, it's chemical too. It triggers a very clear chain reaction in your metabolism. First, having excess body fat disrupts how your body actually uses insulin. Second, because of that disruption, your risk of developing type 2 diabetes absolutely shoots up. And third, if that's left uncontrolled, the resulting high blood sugar acts almost like a slow poison. It causes widespread, systemic damage across your entire body, specifically targeting the eyes, kidneys, nerves, and blood vessels.
Let's look at part 3, liver, brain, and digestion.
Excess weight impacts organ systems you might not even expect. Take your liver, for example. Fat can actually build up inside the liver cells themselves, which leads to fatty liver disease, painful inflammation, and even scarring. Then there's the brain. Carrying excess weight takes a surprisingly heavy psychological toll, increasing anxiety and depression. It's even physiologically linked to a much higher risk of memory problems and dementia later in life. Finally, your digestive system. All that mechanical pressure pushes stomach acids upward, massively driving up the risk of acid reflux and incredibly painful gallstones.
We also have to touch on a pretty sobering biological reality here. Carrying this heavy biological backpack measurably raises your risk for several very specific types of cancers. We're talking colon, breast, kidney, liver, and pancreatic cancers. The strain truly, literally, touches every single part of our biology.
Okay, let's pivot to part 4, small changes, big results.
Because here is the absolutely empowering news. You do not need to lose half your body weight to see massive, life-altering health benefits. Losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight can dramatically transform your internal health. That small of a reduction is actually enough to significantly improve your blood pressure, lower your blood sugar, and noticeably reduce all that immense joint pain. It's honestly amazing to see how quickly the body bounces back when you lighten the load even just a little bit.
But listen, how you get there really matters. The trap so many of us fall into is crash dieting and starvation. Those methods are harmful, they're extreme, and most importantly, they are temporary. Healthy weight loss does not come from punishing your body. The actual science of sustainable success lies in balanced meals, staying active, and getting good sleep to prevent things like that apnea cycle. Small, consistent improvements that you can repeat every single day are what actually lead to genuinely life-changing results.
Your body works incredibly hard for you every single day. Just think back to what we just covered. Your heart is pumping extra volume, your lungs are fighting for oxygen, your knees are carrying exponential weight. Your body is incredibly resilient and it's doing its absolute best to keep you going. Treating your weight with care isn't about vanity at all. It's simply about giving your hardworking body the relief it deserves so you can live a longer, much more energetic life.
You have the power to change this mechanical equation. So I want to leave you with this. What small change will you make today to lighten the load? You don't have to overhaul your entire life by tomorrow morning. Remember, just a 5 to 10% shift can yield massive results. Maybe it's just taking a short walk, drinking a glass of water instead of a soda, or finally prioritizing a good night's sleep. Pick one sustainable thing today and start lightening that backpack. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.